Hey, how's it going? Josh here, and this is episode 102 of the Books by Josh audio immersion. There's no hook in this episode because we're just going to talk about my recent books. In last episode, number 101, I mentioned a book I read called Rehab of a Writer. And it's one of the newer books I put out, and it's a darker book. It's a niche book about an author who becomes addicted to certain things, and from there, life spirals from life and everything like that. And it's just a psychological book. And at the end, it makes you question, are they okay? Why did I write that book? Well, it's an idea I've had for a while. I saw A Star is Born, and then just things in my life about creating. I've gone through that hundreds of times, how hard it is to be a creator. So with Rehab of a Writer, I want to showcase someone who hits rock bottom, who's already there. And the substance abuse that they use is not really for recovery, it's to try to give them purpose and make them feel better. And does it work? You have to read the book to find out. But it's a topic, like I said, that a lot of people don't see the struggles behind everything that's created. Behind a movie you watch, a book you read, a TV show, any great product that has a story, and you don't know that story. So that's what I want to do with that. So I felt like I did it. And other than that, as you may or may not know, if you're new here, you don't know this, but I write in many genres. I started with a mystery novel called Private Eye, The First Adventure of Jason Street, and I've also done poetry. So the reason I'm saying this is because I just did a psychological book about semi-addiction and stuff like that in a dark place. And now I'm gonna flip it back. So like I said, my first published novel was a mystery novel. So I went back to my roots for another book that came out that I didn't mention on last episode, which is Retirement Bloodbath. This is a book that I've had the idea for much longer than Rehab of a Writer. And it's a police drama. It's a detective, Danny, who's a week away from retirement, and a serial killer who he thought he put away years ago. He got the wrong guy. And that serial killer picks now, while Danny's about to retire, to become active again. And that's the premise. It's inspired by like Bosch, with Michael Conley, and all those police movies and shows I've seen, like Lethal Weapon, things like that. But it's a book that I've wanted to do for a long time, as I mentioned. And it gave me the chance to show that, hey, this is my writing in this different type of genre because it's more of a suspense thriller vibe, things like that. It is a longer book than Rehab of Writer in my other books, but this is a book that most people can read. It's a bit more expensive, the pricing. It also comes in a paperback format, whereas Rehab of Writer is a niche book. Like I said, I'm not going to make a paperback for that. And that's available where all ebooks are sold. Right now, Retirement Bloodbath is only available on Amazon. It's also enrolled in the Kindle Select, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it. Then the next book I want to touch upon is I've worked on two other books as well. Next one is Beneath the Surface. It's a spy espionage book, but it's also a romance. You have two agents, force from different agencies, going deep undercover to play a married couple to stop the sale of government secrets. You know? Things like that. And of course, it's romance, so you know how things go. This one's cheaper than Time and Bloodbath. So for that, it's another thing I've had for years. I finally got out. So, like I said, I've been working a lot here. My goal was to have 4 books written this year while I've been off from work, the traditional 9 to 5. And that's the thing. So that's book number 3 right there. And then I did another romance book called Borrowed Time Together. It's fake dating to a reunion, the normal stuff. So these two are romance books, also in the Kindle Unlimited. Where do I take this from here? 4 novels, and we're a third of the way through the year. Am I going to pump out another 4 every quarter or every third? I don't know. But right now, for the time being, I don't know if I'm doing another romance book, things like that. I am working on a follow-up for my finance book, 12 Steps of Finance. But other than that, I'm still working on the other things. The one that's taken me the longest, honestly, is the sequel to Private Eye, the second adventure of Jason Street. It's not called that, but it's one that I want to make sure clicks with the first one. It is a longer book than the first one already. So that's still in the works. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I'm not trying to be an author who just writes one type of genre and is known for that. No, I like to branch out. I have a lot of ideas. And in this day and age, I'm able to create books in each genre that I want to. And it does hurt me. Because if someone follows me for my romance books and they see I put out a finance book, they're like, why? But that's the thing. It's like this podcast, I talk about whatever I feel is needed to be talked about. And with my writing, I write about books that I want to write. I don't fit the norm of a writer that just focuses on one genre because my mind wanders. I don't know about you guys, but my mind wanders. And there's times I just think of an idea and I'm like, let me jot this down. And then I'll revisit and say, you know what? The idea was actually great. Let me make something of that. It could be a podcast episode, it could be just a blog post, or it can be a book idea. And that's the thing. Don't set limits on yourself. When you start putting limits on yourself, you put a safety rail. Sometimes the safety rail could be good. Trust me, when I was at the Yankees game, that safety rail was needed so I didn't fall over. But sometimes the safety rail can be a crutch. Hey, you might be good at one thing, but if you want to try something else that's completely opposite of that, you might be even better at that. So why not take the plunge? I'm not telling you to drop what you're known for, but go and try it. And that's when I write. I'm known for this show, but at the same time, I have a tech podcast, the Tech with Josh. This CH was taken, so TEK. And I also have one on manga called Manga with Josh because I like those topics. So even though I have more viewers and listeners here, that doesn't stop me from recording the other shows. And even though one book I write might do way better than others, it doesn't hurt me to create the others because even though one book might get 1,000 sales and the other book might get 10, who's to say those 10 sales, one of them doesn't become a lifelong reader? That's the thing. Or they needed the message in the book for like Rehab or Variety. Maybe it clicks with them. Am I going to keep doing random niche books like that? I don't know. Probably not unless it speaks to me. But I'm doing mainstream fiction right now. Like I said, police procedure with Retirement Bloodbath, back-to-back romance novel, one in spy and espionage, and the other just slice of life kind of. So it is what it is. That's basically it for this episode. I just want to talk about these new books that I wrote and why I wrote them. And to let you guys know, if you want to pick them up, all 4 of them are on Amazon. And only Rehab with Writer is on like Smashwords, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble. But that's it for this episode. And stay tuned for the next episode, which is 103. What will it be about? You gotta tune in to find out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.